All right. So, what's going on? Why am I doing another live video? What am I actually doing? And why is it that I'm not actually showing that I'm running? So, what I realized is as I'm sitting here doing the hobby of painting miniatures, I needed to actually talk about both what I plan to do in both areas that I'm talking about. So, you know, what am I doing to try and form community in running? What am I trying to do to do to form community in tabletop wargaming or in the games I play? And so I thought, okay, do I do both at the same time? No. I want to actually parse out the videos. I don't want to like have them so close together that if you're a runner visiting the page, you get stuck in talking about the games that you don't care about. Maybe you'll go visit those because you're curious, and vice versa. You're a tabletop war gamer looking to form a community, and then you're like, okay, this dude is into running. And he's talking about forming running communities. Let me see what it's all about. And then you get sucked in, and I win. I don't know if you can hear that, but I said, I win. I do stupid voices. You'll get used to it. So, what am I planning to do with the running part of the channel? Well, I thought about just focusing on the formation of a running group, and I think that'll be some of the main videos. But I also wanted to continue the the types of videos that I was doing when I was showing my progress through running in sandals, which was, um, sorry, my cat, which was to show a race that I did, kind of have like a tutorial every once in a while. Share like a really fun run, like running in Korea, which wasn't a race, but it was just an experience. And so I want to do those three things. And I think that's part of the running that I think is lacking in a lot of different videos. There's all these how to become a better runner, how to do all that. That's not going to be this channel. What this channel is going to be is the experience of running and the experience of forming a community. Um, that's it. I don't think it needs to be anything more than that, because if it's anything more than that, I lose interest in it. Because part of being a runner and in your 40s is kind of having to give up some of the things that you're used to and maybe improving in some areas that you weren't used to, and then just like adapting to, I'm older than I was. So what does that actually mean? And what that means is just, some of the stuff that I did when I first started trying to do ultras is taking a backseat to just the overall experience. And I think that's a good idea to document that. Like, what is it to be an older runner? What is it to try to find like minded people, especially when running right now, you could say, is being dominated by people that are like, I want to run faster, farther, harder. And, I was in that crowd for the longest time. Still am. Like, my goal is to do 100 miles. My wife thinks I'm going to try to do the Cocodona 250, and don't tell her. I actually want to, but, well, do tell her, because I ain't got nothing to hide. Never hide anything from your partner. Okay, so what am I doing? In the running, I'm going to sign up for races and share those races. See if you enjoy them. I'm also going to like share cool places that I run. And I think that might actually drive me to explore more, because it's like, let me go find interesting trails, kind of just show it. You watch it, you I you put on music, or you listen to the music that I put on, and you just experience it, which is not necessarily going to get a lot of views, but then I'm not trying to monetize anything that I'm doing. I am just documenting. And I think that'll be fun. Yeah. I like how I'm looking down instead of looking up at the thing, but whatever. It's going to take practice to become a YouTube influencer that does live streaming, because I'm not trying to be an influencer and I don't really like live streaming. But you know what live streaming does? That's going to play a huge part in helping me get back into running or doing videos on running is I don't have to edit. I'm just going to put this out on the web and see what happens. And that's the other thing around forming the community. it's going to get difficult at some points, but I am going to try to find ways to explain the ease of forming a community when you have a passion and a purpose. Because I think it's more than anything, like people have told me, it's not necessarily that we want to go running, it's the way you're about it makes us want to join you. So I think I don't necessarily believe I have a lot of charisma, and yet there's evidence that points to that otherwise. So I'm going to use that charisma to form a running group in one of my favorite places, which is Vasquez Rocks. It's out in Agua Dulce, Santa Clarita. It's called Space Rock. There, I, you know, I'm saying this now without proper research. I bet you there's a running group there, because how could there not be? Like, if you've been to Vasquez Rocks and you've been on the PCT in that area, it's just ridiculously beautiful. So that's my thinking. Like, okay, once a month, getting people together. And this is something that I want to put forth. Like, I'm going to talk about what should create this running community maybe next week. It's November 4th right now, the day before the election. God help us all. FYI, not a Roman Catholic, so that kind of probably means nothing. But I want in January to start up. If it happens in December, that's cool. But I'm giving myself time to plan it out, to figure it out, to invite people, and to get people to show up, and just do it once a month and see what happens. So people that have running groups, like the one that I used to partake in a lot was, and still is, I just haven't done it because it's been easier to run during the day, is Highland Park Runners. Really good group. Check them out. Just solid people. One of the founders is just like one of the most likable guys ever. He's just chill. And so, yeah, I want to create a running group like he's made, but with the specificity of like a trail run out in one of my favorite places once a month, hopefully on a Saturday. Like, I know I'm selfish, but I'm gonna make the running group that I want to go to. I think that's the trick. What's the one running group, running community I want, as opposed to, oh, there's something missing? Because I've tried that before. Um, I tried to do one for teachers. Like, hey, a bunch of female teachers. You want to go running. It's winter time, but there's no one to run with, no place to run with that isn't kind of like intimidating because of the traffic issues. And so it was fun, and it didn't last. Like, you know, there were issues with people being on the same schedule. So, you either live and you learn, or you give up. And I lived and I learned, and not necessarily ever going to not do it, but I'm definitely going to bring it back at some point. So, yeah, I think I've talked for 8 minutes. I don't know who's ever going to see this video, but we'll see. And yeah, here we go.
Yo.